Hey, so what's up, everyone? This is the Swinging Bull here with Mr.StockLockProfits for Power Hour on Friday. Wrap up the week. We do a little market recap here. Right now, we're looking at SPY. Bulls are definitely in charge right now for the past quite a while. I mean, basically all day they've been in charge. We've had some sell-offs down to VWAP, had a bounce at VWAP around 11 o'clock. And then it basically just trended for the rest of the day up. No significant sell-offs like we had around 11 a.m. So we're watching SPY right now. Hit a high of 413.97, not quite 414, but it's about 3:08 p.m. Eastern. We got about well, SPY options trade till 4:15, but the market will close at 4 for equities. Of course, you can still do extended hour trading after 4, depending on your broker. But here we go. Here, SPY just broke 414. Lee, since we've been running for 5 days straight, what are your thoughts on a possible gap down, either after hours today or maybe pre-market on Tuesday, possible gap down? Because we've been on the daily chart on SPY. I mean, we've had 5 green days in a row. I'm going back in time here to try and find when the last time we had 5 green days in a row. And
we had that in the last. Didn't we have that in the last? This one. Yeah, we had this big 10 days of just nonstop. To the upside until we hit a strong resistance point. And then we came back down. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, we could get another run like this. I mean, it's not out the cards, right? I mean, we can definitely continue to the upside if the buyers keep stepping in and pushing this higher. We could definitely see this pushing into next week. I believe there's probably the 50-day that's probably going to be a resistance point as well. And I believe it looks like it's coming up to a resistance, or it's hitting resistance right now.
Yeah, I think there's a good resistance around 414, which it kind of just breached a little bit. Let's see if it can hold above 414. Maybe breach it, retest, and keep going up. But this 414 is key here, I think, on the daily chart. And just like you said, the 50 moving average, which is going to be at 418 area. I think on the daily chart, if we hit this 50 moving average on the daily, that could be significant resistance there. So we're looking at the next point.
Looks
maybe
like we're getting a little sell-off here as well.
Let me go back.
I mean, we've seen this all day long. It's nothing too exciting,
right.
But there is a little sell-off here.
Yep, we got some selling coming in. If you're looking at my chart here, you can see the volume, excuse me, the volume profile down here at the bottom. This last run that we just had for the past, I'd say ever since it broke 412.84-ish, so around 2:55 p.m. So it's been about the last 15 minutes. You can see all these green volume candles on the volume profile down here, especially this group here. So that's why we're seeing the spike in the price here. Now, we did just get 2 decent sized red volume candles as soon as it kind of hit its head on 414. So we'll see which direction it's going to go now, leading to the closing bell here. If you're in puts, we want this third candle here on the 1 minute chart. We need that to go red here, and price action. If you're holding puts, we need the price action to start going below at least this 9-day moving average. Maybe we get a couple more candles and it goes below the 20, and we'll see how and that's if the sell-off continues here compared to the overall trend of the day. I mean, like you said, this is nothing as far as a big sell-off.
It's been very, I don't know, it's moving up slowly, but there's a lot weaker volume than we've seen it like yesterday and the day before. So it's moving up on weak volume.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's at this time of the day, you don't want to like, to be honest, I wouldn't want to hold any calls over the weekend.
Right.
And I would just kind of either play this if we get a reaction right here on the volatility, play that volatility if we do. If we don't, and it just trickles its way back, over the finish line at 4 p.m., then we just wait till Tuesday, and we can look at the chart and see how we can play it Tuesday. But I mean, Russell's up 2.4%. SPY's up, but SPY won't even drop below that EMA 9-day. It's very strong.
Yeah, very strong.
I next week it's looking kind of bullish right now.
Yeah, absolutely. There's, I think one of the shot callers in premium might have alerted a put. It was either on the SPY or something like that, to hold over the weekend. Now, this is going to be more or less a lotto play, because we do have such good bullish momentum right now. If you are going to hold a put over the weekend, it's definitely going to be a lotto. Don't put a lot of money into it, but there could be a chance on a pullback if this momentum doesn't continue.
Yeah, absolutely. Ones that I want to watch next week and see if we see some recovery. I mean, there was some recovery today. Was American Eagle. It was down at $12 pre-market's up over 13.
Oh wow!
So I would, and it's still down 5%. So I would watch this on Tuesday, see if we get a continuation on the recovery and push higher above 14.
Yeah.
Also, we played gap this morning from 9 and change back up to 11. I think it's 11. It's in the green now. So it was down initially. I believe it was at least 10% down. Yeah, that's the wrong one. It's GPS.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
And now I think it's still green right now. It's over 11. So we played it from 9 and change up to 11. It's 11.64 right now. So this has been a non-stop recovery all day long.
Right.
And it ended green for the day as of right now. So this one's pretty strong. The earnings were not that good. But with the strong buying today and just the general market, it's just recovered pretty well.
Yeah, it definitely has been on a tear today. Nice upward trend that it's been in most of the day here. Almost all day. So that's a great play there from the $9 range all the way up to over 11 now. That's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Right
there.
Yeah. What else do we got going on here? Tesla kind of following the SPY.
That was a beast, though. Yeah, what a beast that was. I mean, we alerted this one in premium around 6. I believe I put it out 640, 650. Our first buy, and then the second buy was around 635. And this, I mean, what a beast in the last couple of days. This has been, look at that. What a beautiful recovery. And it's not like we're in an uptrend whatsoever. It's just that we're just, for 1 week, we're making we're coming down to a certain level. And then the next week, we're just recovering at that level that we lost. So it's not like, hey, we're going higher. It's just that we're just going sideways, or we're in a channel and we're just going sideways.
Yeah, that was a fantastic play on Tesla. I mean, basically $100 per share gain there when you alerted it in the mid 6s. So I just drew my demand zone here on Tesla when it hit this low at 617. We alerted in the mid 6s, and just a monster run from there. And it only took a couple days. Look, only 3 trading sessions. Okay, I'm going to go back to SPY here. Looks like we do have some selling. We got some selling.
It's all about some trading. Maybe you find some trading there.
Yeah, here we go right here. Now, if this price action gets below the 20, definitely turning bearish there. Look at the RSI when we hit that high of 414. RSI was at 80. Wow. Very overbought there.
Yeah, more to the overbought side. And it come back down, but it looks like it's like that 9-day, man. It just wants to hold all day long.
Yeah. Well, we do have the MACD line crossing to the downside of the signal line on the 1 minute. Could be a possible reversal there. Histogram is starting to turn red. And we also have the RSI trending down as well. So we might see some more selling here leading up to the closing bell. It's about 3:17 p.m. Eastern right now. Let me go ahead and draw a trend line on this and see if it respects it. Yeah, we could maybe something like that. If it stays below this trend line, I think it sells off for the rest of the time here. We'll see. Oh, you get a nice red 1 minute candle here.
Yeah, let's bring it down, right? Let's make some money on that put side.
Yeah.
So I think James has a put out there. I think James has put a quick one, but I think it's a day trade. I don't think it's a one hold overnight. Unless he put it in the note.
What an amazing day by SPY, that's for sure. Let's see. Okay, yeah, James has a SPY put lotto, and it is a day trade.
Yeah, see, normally around this time, around like 3:30, around 3:30, 3:45, this is where the point where we're going to get a lot of volatility normally in SPY, normally in all the indexes. So we're probably going to see that in Russell, which is IWM. And that's kind of what we're looking for, any volatility. If that doesn't happen, then I think it just slowly trickles back to new highs of the day and just closes higher. So I want to see some volatility around 3:30 is the time that I would like to start seeing that.
Yeah, definitely.
It's pretty strong. It's still pretty strong. It's still trying to be pushed up.
It might make a new high a day here if it breaks 414.06. You know, we could be going up from there. Got a big wick on this 1 minute candle right here. Let's see if it tries to go back up. Yeah, what a strong bullish day overall. I mean, we can look at the heat map here. I mean, look at this heat map. This gets refreshed automatically. You know, we got Apple up 3.34%, Microsoft up almost 2%, Google up 3.75%. Yeah, that's big for Google. Amazon up 2.5%, Tesla up 6.7%, basically. Even Facebook gained 1.3%. Walmart.
Yeah, and these are stocks that are still beaten down, right? They're still at pretty much lows.
Down.
Like they're all beaten down. They're at the very bottom of their 52-week low, not of their overall chart, but the 52-week low. A lot of them are close by. So, I mean, it's been great the last couple of days, but we're not out of the woods. I mean, we're not pushing any higher. So we need to see a few more strong green days to show us that we could be in a recovery and a reversal.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So yeah, if you guys have any questions as well, just put it in the live stream chat, and we can get to those questions while we're looking at SPY. And I got a put out for Russell as well. So I'm watching this trend line that it's on. It needs to break below like 187 again, and then maybe we can close out these before the end of the day. Otherwise, I will risk it myself personally, holding those puts over the weekend for Tuesday. But the expiration is the end of the for Wednesday expiration, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, you get the whole day on Tuesday, and what I was saying earlier is, you know, since we've been running for 5 days in a row, 5 green days in a row, there is a good chance we see a gap down. It could come tonight in extended hours, or it could come Tuesday morning in pre-market. They love to do it at like 4 a.m. Eastern, right when pre-market trading opens. That's when you'll see a lot of the gap downs or gap ups. But since we've had 5 green days in a row, you know, that put you could be in good shape there on Tuesday if we get a
very
gap
down. I'm just going to play very small, like 2 contracts, and just play very small over the weekend, because we could wake up Tuesday and it could go higher on Tuesday. But I'm looking for a dip in the morning, and then, you know, it can go on its way higher if it wants. But we want to get out of our of outputs before that happens.
Yeah, absolutely. So SPY just made another new high of day. Got
really?
so much. Yep.
Wow.
414.14 now. But and I guess the volume, the volume's pretty strong on it. If I zoom out on my screen here, you can see the volume profile. It's very strong at the beginning of the day, kind of died down. You can see how low the volume was, and then now look in power hour. Look at the volume here. It's almost just as big as the volume was in the morning. So that's why we're seeing this extra push here at the end.
And it bounced off that VWAP. It loves VWAP, right? I mean, all the indexes love to bounce off VWAP. Russell did, so did SPY. They bounced right off VWAP there. Buyers stepped in really heavy on that bounce on VWAP and then pushed higher from there. That was, if you missed the initial morning push, that was the test area that you would look to maybe buy some calls, or if it breaks down, buy some puts. But that is definitely a strong indicator for the actual indexes. It's pretty wild, but that's what it is.
Yeah, around 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. Eastern today is when it hit VWAP. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on that area where I personally would have entered calls. I think we did. We were playing SPY all day.
Yes.
I would have entered on this hammer looking candle right here, because as you can see, it ended up closing above the body of the previous big bearish candle. So just barely closed above the body of it. I would have entered here, and the price action did get above the 9-day. And of course, the next candle was green and just sat right on the 9-day. And that would have been a fantastic play if you would have got in at 11 o'clock on a call option. And what we call it is you're playing the VWAP bounce. It's a VWAP bounce play. So SPY was overextended all morning above the VWAP, very overextended above the VWAP. When it finally cooled down and touched the VWAP and bounced back off, this is call city right here. This is all call city. And you could have entered there, and literally the price never did come back down to the 411 area at all for the rest of the day. So you could have you could actually still be in those calls right now, and that would have been a $3 move, around $3 move on SPY, easy 50-60%, or what do you think, Lee? Maybe even more. I mean, $3 move if you add the delta.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It would have been. It depends on the expiration, what date, but yeah, it would have been at least, even if it was a Wednesday expiration, it would have been at least, I think, 50%, maybe 100% move, right?
Yeah. Let me.
I think
sometimes
so.
I like going to the daily chart sometimes and looking at pivot point. I do use pivot point on the higher time frames. They're not as reliable on the smaller time frames, but if you've been watching a stock for a while, go to the daily chart, pull up the pivot point, and this is going to give you a broad or longer price targets. So if you wanted to like swing a stock for a long time, we can see where the price is right now, and your price target could be the next pivot point above that if you're in an uptrend. So that's interesting. The next point of interest on the pivot point indicator for the SPY is the 427 area. So we obviously have a lot of resistances before the 427 area, but for a longer term target, if you had lots of time on your contract and we're in an uptrend, you could make your price target this 427. But just like looking at that every now and then to get a more broader picture. So let's see. Yep, SPY's still ripping. Doesn't look like we're going to get a sell off.
Let's see if we start to get a sell off back down to that level of around like 414.
Yeah. Yep. Right about here. You can see on the 1 minute where this bearish candle and bullish candle, neither of them have wicks on the bottom. So this is kind of a place of an agreement here when it comes to price action. So yeah, this 414 level is going to be super important if it does come back down towards there. What time is it now? 3:27 p.m. Got about 30 minutes left in power hour.
This is going to be the volatile moment right here for sure. The
Yeah.
next 30 minutes.
Yep. And it's been done before in the last 30 minutes of Power Hour. I mean, SPY literally could drop $4 if it wanted to. It really just depends on what the hedge funds are doing and what their plans are heading into the weekend and that kind of stuff. So this next 30 minutes is get your popcorn out and we can look at the price action and see what's going on here. I'm personally not in any plays right now. I was playing calls earlier and got some nice profit on some calls throughout the day. I was basically, since today was definitely a trend day. Okay, it was not a range day; it was a trend day, which means it's either going to go up for most of the day or down for most of the day. That's what trend days are. So I like playing the trend days because you could literally, if you get the direction right, you could enter calls, in the morning around lunchtime, leading up to lunchtime, and just kind of, put a stop loss a little bit below your entry. And as long as it keeps trending in your favor for the rest of the day, you can kind of just let that thing go and come back and check on it around 3 p.m. and see how much money you got. But yeah, today
you can also just you can also watch it as well if you want and just raise your stop losses. I mean, if you don't want to stop out of the play and take profits, just raise your stop loss, protect your downside, protect your profits, and eventually you get stopped out on a dip if there is one. Or like I say, you run it into close, so you just close it before the end of the day with those nice profits. But if you have a stop loss, like you say, you can go out. You don't have to be stuck in front of your screen. You can just go out, know that there's a stop loss in place to protect yourself, and then at the end of the day, just make sure that you come back and see what you have. If you raise those stops, you should have gains.
Yeah, and if you're not able to babysit it on a trend day, like you were saying, if you need to go out somewhere or something, you can also do what's called an OCO order, which is most brokers have it. It's called an OCO order. One cancels the other. You could actually set your stop loss and take profit all in the same order, and that could definitely be less management there. Either it hits your stop or it hits your profit, or especially on a trend day, it's going to go one way or the other. So let's see here. We got some red volume candles coming in on SPY, even though the price is staying somewhat flat. There are starting to be a little bit more red candles at the end here. Let's see what this next candle is going to do. If we get another red candle here, we should see some more selling. It's just because there's going to be a lot more red candles than green candles on the volume profile. But it doesn't look like it wants to do that. Looks like we're pushing. You can see on the time and sales, you can see these block orders coming in. Every now and then it'll be a big, bright, square chunk. Those are block orders there. Obviously if it's green, it's people buying. So let's see what time and sales. It's lighting up like a Christmas tree right now. We got any? No questions in live stream chat. I think everyone's ready.
Everyone's ready for the weekend.
Everyone's ready for the weekend and maybe barbecuing, spending time with family, stuff like that. It's been a wild week. Lots of volatility, and we still had 5 green days in a row on the SPY.
Well, you got to think about it. It also affects you psychologically, right? So, like, it's just a little bit draining sometimes, where you have like these mixed feelings. Hey, is the market coming down today? Or is it going to go up today? It is such a roller coaster ride that we've been on for the past like 3-4 months. It's been nonstop roller coaster action. This week we're like, wow, we actually can sit down and enjoy a nice steady trend to the upside. If you look on the hourly, a 2-hour chart on SPY, there's clearly a great trend to the upside that it's holding very well. And I'm excited to see what happens next week. I think hopefully another green week will be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean the channel we're in on SPY right now. I mean that channel was officially formed around April 22nd when it hit that high there. And it came down. It's just been kind of trading in this channel here on the 1-hour chart. And sure enough, 3 trading days ago, we broke out of this channel to the upside here, and
yep. And
we just
let's
been
see.
on
I mean,
we've been on a move ever since.
What levels you got there next to watch? Is there any levels that you're watching next on the SPY to either, maybe play some longer plays or not really?
I mean, I don't really have anything set up right now. Just been kind of day trading. As far as levels in the future, did see some. We were talking about that earlier, like on the daily chart. We're getting real close to this 50 moving average. So I think this on the daily chart, this yellow 50 moving average line got it about 418.34. So if this run keeps up, I see that being some pretty good resistance on the daily chart there. So around the 418 level, as far as the daily chart goes.
Yes. Yep.
Yep. So this on the 1 minute chart, looking at the volume profile again, these 3 monster green volume candles here. There's about a million shares total that were traded just in those 3 minutes. A million shares of SPY traded in those 3 minutes. That's a lot. We did get a nice red candle here. It's about 3:35 p.m. Eastern. This could be the start of maybe a somewhat of a sell-off. Now, SPY is so volatile. I mean, I was saying that earlier. I mean, if hedge funds and big money really, really wanted to sell this thing off in the last 15 minutes, I mean, we could see a couple dollar move to the downside, no problem. People that play SPY all the time, we see that all the time. So let's see what we get here. There's definitely some sellers stepping into the picture here. No.
Yeah, on the Russell, we're seeing new highs, but we are getting a little bit sell-off. All it takes is for it to break a trend, and then we can trigger some more sells.
Yeah, exactly.
But right now, every dip is getting eaten up. So until it breaks a trend, that's you're just going to follow that trend channel until it breaks. Yeah. But right now, I mean, it could easily come down, test that trend, and then break down if it doesn't hold. And that's what people are looking at right now.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. If this trend line breaks to the downside, we're definitely going to start seeing some sellers step in, I think, unless, SPY and the indexes just keep doing what they've been doing all day, which we've seen it broke out of a trend before. Like, and Russell looks just like how SPY looks, but we were in an uptrend. Here, I can go ahead and draw the line here. We were on an uptrend. We could probably draw it. I mean, even like that, it got a little extended a little bit, but we broke the downtrend to the downside before when it touched VWAP around 11 o'clock, and then the buyers just stepped right back in and, pushed it back up. So,
yeah, right now it's is it bouncing off the 50 again?
Let's see. It got close to it. The 50 moving average on the 1 minute. And it looks like we got a gravestone doji possibly forming here. Might even just turn in. Oh yeah, look at the volume profile now. 4 huge red selling candles, and this current candle's getting bigger red. So MACD also has crossed to the downside, and we got red histogram candles on the MACD here. RSI on the 1 minute has totally plummeted, so we might start seeing a lot of selling going on here. I mean, we already have seen some selling going on in the past 5 minutes just looking at these volume candles. But let's see, it's almost 3:40 p.m. So we got about 20 minutes.
This is it. This is where we're going to see volatility right now. So let's see exactly
if it doesn't
how
hold
far down it goes.
Yeah, if it doesn't hold this 50 MA on the 1 minute, it might just pull to this 200 MA like a magnet. But there is a level at 413 it needs to get through first. So trading at 413.80 right now. Let's see what's gonna go down here. I mean, if we do get a lot more selling right here, those puts that were alerted, or those puts that you were in for next Wednesday, I mean, they might even come into profit here if we get some more dramatic selling coming. But gauging the way the whole day's been, it's just been a super bull run all day. We'll see what's going to happen here. We got any questions or anything? Nope. Just looks like people are enjoying me and you chatting about the technicals. Okay, here we go. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, if this candle turns red, it's going to be a big red volume candle here, but it's trying to hold that 50. Let's see what the just curious at which sectors were on top today.
Okay, this is for today. Sectors. Yeah. Let's see.
Yep. We got IT led the pack, which was warranted because they've been getting their butt handed to them all year. So usually the ones that have been beaten up the most will tend to recover a little bit more on the green days. So we got IT leading the pack today. Consumer discretionary, their number 2 sector for the day. They've been actually getting beat quite a bit, beat down, just because consumer discretionary, it's not like consumer staples where people are always going to shop there. Discretionary is exactly what it says. It's kind of 20 minutes until the bell.
That's right. Someone seems excited.
Let's go. That's Patrick. No, that's cool. So the bottom 3 sectors are, even though they were still green, but the bottom 3 sectors are the kind of flight to safety stocks: consumer staples, utilities, and healthcare. They were kind of down today because the market was up, but they were still green. They're just the bottom 3. And then the top 3 is, I like seeing those at the top.
One that we alerted, even you and me were watching it. You remember we talked about it on the live stream in our in the garage, which IMPP, which is oil and gas company that I actually alerted for the free section too. So hopefully you guys took advantage of that one. IMPP.
Yeah, that thing ran hard.
Yeah, so it just ran to pretty much 55 cents. Just now, and hope some of you guys took advantage of that because it was alerted at, I think the first one was at 45 cents, and then we added, I believe, at 40 cents. So this one ran real hot. The offering was at 55 cents, but it's in a very strong sector, right? I mean, energy sector, oil and gas. I mean, as you know, the world is dealing with prices at the gas pump that's super high. Mm-hmm. And we have a lot of supply chain issues. So for energy, it's very green in the past 6 months for energy stocks. And this one has ran to about $1 to $2 twice. Twice they did an offering. So this one could become potentially very popular in the next couple of days, the next couple of weeks, for a continuation. You're just looking at the chart, drawing a trend on the larger time frames, and just raising your stop along the way. If you want to take some profit, that's fine. you can take at least 50% maybe of your position or 60%. And if you want to hold a little bit and see how far this goes, you can just raise your stops along the way.
Yep, I agree with that. Yeah, I love the energy sector. I alerted a leap option. It was a 2024 leap on a company called NRG, which is kind of sounds like energy, right? So it was NRG.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we only held that leap for I think 15 days, and it ended up running 85%. So we got some nice profit on that one.
And that was one that you could have just held for a little bit of time and just not stressed it, just kind of watch over it.
Yep. Like not much maintenance to these leaps. Just try and get in on a good get in on some good price action, maybe when it's down, for a day or two and you see a little dip, that could be a good time to start building a position in the leaps.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good plan. So yeah, if you guys played this, and if there's anyone here in the free section, or maybe we're all just chilling here as premium members, who knows? But yeah, you got a good 20% plus on that actual play. So yeah, good profits there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's almost 3:45, 15 minutes until the bell.
Yeah, I don't think the market's going to come down anytime.
It doesn't
today.
look. I mean, look how it just curled up just now when it hit the 50 moving average. That's a sign that the sellers started taking control. We started having some on the volume profile. We start seeing some red volume candles. They took it all the way down to the 50 moving average. Then the buyers stepped right back in, and here we are again. Bouncing back to the upside.
For options. Okay, so James, are you available, man? Is he here? Is he taking a nap, or is he drinking a beer? What's he doing? Hey, man. So we have a question for you in the live stream. It says here, hey, all, quick question. I have 5 options SPY June. Is that June 6? Yeah, June 6, 410 calls, average 141. And now it's currently at 788. Should I roll this over? Should I hold over the weekend, or should I sell? Yeah.
So if it was me, I would just sell them all. I mean, maybe if you have 3, you have 5, maybe sell 4 and keep 1.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I would just sell 4 and keep 1 if you want to see if there's any type of continuation. But I would totally take profit, and there's no reason to hold the full position. That's for sure.
All right, so. Yeah, let me just repeat what James said for the recording. So we had someone in chat ask about they have 5 option contracts on SPY. The June 6, 410 calls. Their average is 141, and the current price is 788. And they were wanting to know if they should hold over the weekend. Well, our premier option analyst, James Legends, recommends taking profit on most of those 5 contracts. Specifically, if you want to take profit on 4 of them and maybe leave 1 runner, because June 6th really isn't that far away. No, go ahead. No, go ahead. That's nice. Basically like locking in the profit on the last contract and sell the 412, not the 412, rather sell one that's out of the money, like the 415 or the 416, right, something like that. You would have to do sell to open and create a debit spread. Yeah, that would limit your risk right there, and your risk would be the width of the spread, right? Oh no, for debit spread.
That's only if you have level 3 on your account.
Level 3 options. Yep. Yeah, that's good advice there. So yeah, Derelicts, who was asking the question in chat there. If you have 5 options and you bought at 141 and they're currently at 788, I would definitely take profit on at least 4 of them. If you do leave a runner, what James was saying is you could open up a debit spread to kind of hedge your position on your last contract. And to be able to do spreads, you would need level 3 options, which is going to be margin. You would need a margin account to open up the spread. So hope that answers your questions. If you have more questions about the spreads, we can definitely talk about that later. You can also reach out to LT, who's our spread specialist shot caller. She has some great education and explanations about how to do the spreads, and it's great for hedging, that's for sure. So it's about 3:48 p.m. here. We got 12 minutes before the bell. If you don't plan on holding options over the weekend, I would consider closing them out in the next 10 to 12 minutes here.
Here we go.
And that way you don't have any. Yep, got a little sell off on SPY. Let's see if it keeps going. We got some, let's look at the volume profile here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 or 16. The last 15 minutes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, yep. There's the sell-offs incoming right now. We got 10 minutes before the bell. Price action is below the 50 moving average. I would say I can move this line right here. We need to get below 413.63, which is the bottom of this hammer candle wick here. And that's where the buyer stepped in and pushed it up. And you can see by the size of this wick. All right, so this 413.62 is definitely a demand zone, or it was a demand zone for the buyers when this green hammer candle popped out. So we need to watch this level. Let's see if the buyers step back in like they did over here. Which it looks like they're attempting to do right now. You can tell by this big long wick here on this current 1 minute candle. That's exactly what happened back here. The price touched down there. The buyer stepped in. This is 413.63 is an obvious demand zone here, and you can tell by looking at these long wicks. That means the buyers really stepped in hard there, and sure enough, that's exactly what's happening right now again, and we're going up. SPY's looking like it wants to make a new high a day again at the last, at the end of the day here. But let's see if the sellers jump back in, and maybe people want to sell and don't want no over the weekend risk here because of the 3-day weekend. If that's going to happen, we're going to see it within the next 10 minutes or so. Looks like we have a gravestone doji that formed. And the sellers are definitely kicking it into overdrive right now. Let's see if this bearish candle here with this long upper wick, let's see if this candle can overtake this previous green hammer candle. If that happens and we go below this 413.63, we're going to see a lot more selling, folks. This is an important area for the end of the day here. You need to see if these bearish candles can take over this green hammer candle here. That's what we're watching for. Okay, Derelicts, who asked that question in chat about those 5 options, he sold 4 of them at $8, and he bought them for $1.41. That is a huge gain right there. Congratulations on that. And look at it this way: the profit you took on those 4 contracts, because you had 5 total, the profit you took on those 4 contracts, I mean, the profit you made off of that runner that you left in there, I mean, that's basically a free runner. You got that for free now. And the profit you made on those 4, I mean, you probably paid for that free runner and plus some. So you're in a really great position there to hold that one last runner to see what happens next week. And that was great risk management there. You sold 4, made a ton of profit on those 4. not only did it pay for your free runner, but you should still have a lot of profit from those left over from those 4 that you sold. That's really good there, Derelicts. Congrats on that one. The Caterpie Bull is commentating Spy like a sports event. Hey, yeah, hopefully it's
you really are, man.
Hopefully
this is entertaining.
Understandable. Yeah, I mean, as long as everyone understands, the kind of things that we're looking at, what we want to see current candles do to the previous candles. We need to see some overwhelming effects either on the bull side or the bear side to give us some indication here. So here we go. It's approaching this 413.63, which is definitely a demand zone for buyers here. Let's see if the sellers can get it below that level. If not, I think we're just going to kind of close flat from where we're at right now. But it's 3:53 p.m., you guys. You got 7 minutes to close out your options if you do not want to hold them over the weekend. The Caterpie. No, I appreciate it, man. I'm glad to see everyone here. All right, here we go. Let's see who's going to win this battle.
Man, I love seeing the volatility at the end of the day.
Yeah,
it's like it's like watching paint dry during the day because we were going sideways, but trickling up, obviously, but just going very slow. But at the end of the day, we get a lot more action here.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, grab some snacks and, sit back and watch. Hopefully you're not in any positions for the last, 7 minutes of a Friday here, because your emotions will probably be through the roof if you're holding anything right now. So try not to do that. Just keep that in mind. You don't want your emotions to get a hold of you and you start making some bad decisions, like not stopping out when you said you were going to stop out. You're holding too long and now you're hoping, So just be careful of that, especially on Fridays. Last 30 minutes, 15 minutes, anything can happen.
So I had to close out my Zoom because I trimmed my Zoom equity side last week for 22%, and I just closed out the rest at 110. So I am home and dry on Zoom. So that was a good trade from $86 up to 110.
Yeah, that was a good trade.
So that was a nice one. So I trimmed all the remaining position there.
Yeah, and now you don't have to worry about the after hours leading up to Tuesday. Extended
absolutely.
Hours. Enjoy your
another one that will be very interesting next week. I know that Snapchat got just smashed to pieces last week because of that. The CEO coming out saying that their next earning report will be very negative to the low side of the guidance, or below, I believe they said the guidance.
Yeah.
So it came down from like 22, 23 down to 12 and change. And now we're up to 1550. I think very positive things looking for next week. The next target I'm aiming for is around 620-ish. Is the next area of resistance.
Yep, I see it right here. If you're looking at my screen right here, I'll go ahead and draw that. Yeah, you're about right there, Leah, at the 1620 mark. We can go ahead and make that red so it doesn't. You can see it through the Fibonacci. I got a Fibonacci drawn right now, and this is from when it sold off. And as you can see from the fib, we drew the bottom of the fib at the bottom when it hit 1255 down here. And as you can see, it broke the first level of the fib, which was the 1533. That was broken today. The next level we're looking at on Snap is the 1620 area that Mr.StockLockProfits pointed out. And you can easily see where he got that from. If you go back to when we did dip, that's going to be the high of the pre-market on May 24th, which was definitely a firm level to watch there. And now we're coming back up to it. So
yeah, so one to watch next week, guys. I mean, this one, if we get another solid green, this one right here could definitely put that 615, 620 area. And then we can really watch this one and see if it breaks through that resistance. If it does, then we can see a nice continuation back to the mid 16s to $17 area. So yeah, definitely a play that could work out in the next couple of days to weeks again.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just thinking that too. Since we're over the 23% fib, we got over that today. If we can get through that 615, 620 area that you pointed out, definitely has a chance to go to the next fib line, which would be the 38% line. So that's around the $17 there. So that could be a nice continuation play if we can stay above this 1533-ish area. I think it could definitely see some more upside. Now, if we lose the 1533 area for whatever reason, well, you can see from the fib that, there's a chance it could go back into the 12s. But if we lose this 1533, looks like we got some support around 1456 that it would need to hold that, in my opinion. So, yeah, interesting stuff going on with Snap. Let's go back to the SPY. It's 358. If you got options and not holding over the weekend, just another reminder, make sure to close them out. If they're on SPY, you got until 4:15 p.m. Eastern. So a little bit of time left if you do have SPY.
Another new high of day, huh?
Yeah, it wants 15. Oh, it did break 15. Got up to 4:15.01. And it's going to keep going, looks like. Wow. Look at the volume profile. Oh, my God. You see how the volume just kind of stair-stepped all the way up? Running concurrent with the price action there. We had a dip here when these 4 red volume candles popped out. Then we had another dip when these 4 popped out. But massive volume coming in on SPY. Yep, pretty amazing. Closing bell's going to ring in about a minute. Sure.
When you're trading SPY or QQQ or IBM, do you have an individual play trading plan for each individual play between the 3, or do you have like one set of rules and you're applying them all, no matter which one of 3 you're trading?
I mean, for me personally, they all kind of run similar. Like we'll looking at my screen right here, we see what the SPY did today, and when I pull up QQQ, it's almost the exact same chart, right? Same thing. IW, the Russell is a little, it deviates a little bit, but especially QQQ and SPY, those charts are going to be the same. So I usually have the same strategy no matter what index it is. Me personally, I like doing call options when the price action is above the 9-day moving average on the 1-minute chart, and then I'll use my my 20-day moving average as my stop loss. That way, give it a little bit time to breathe, because you could see right here, this was about 3 o'clock today. You could have entered calls right here, and as long as the price action on the 1-minute chart doesn't breach the 20 moving average, it'll pull back to there, but it won't breach it. Then you could have took this call from 413 all the way up to 414. That would have been a decent call play right there. And then as soon as it, you could have took profit up there or whatever. Move your stops up along the way, especially if you're in profit. And as soon as it breaks down,
you were using the 5 and the 20?
The 9 and the 20, and these are EMAs, not the MA. Make sure it's the exponential moving averages. Those are the ones I day trade with. And especially like even earlier in the day here, when the bell rang in the morning. Let me get rid of this VWAP real quick. Oh, I can see a little bit better. So like when market opened and price action was immediately above the 9, you could have entered a call here. Maybe wait for the pullback to the 9, which it did right here. It retested it, or it tested it. and then we get this next green candle. You could use that as confirmation, enter there, and as long as the price action doesn't breach the 20, look, there's no reason why you should have stopped out of this. And I know some of these pullbacks can kind of scare people, and they're like, oh shit, let me move my stop up, and then maybe you get stopped out because you start seeing the red. But until a candle closes below the 20, I'm not getting out of this play. I'm riding this bad boy all the way up, and then I'll use the 20 as my stop loss. I'll use my 9 to enter. So I hope that helps. That's my day trading strategy, and you can go back to.
And you use the 9 on a crossover of the 20.
Usually that'll happen if the price action is above the 9. Usually the 9 will be on top of the 20 anyway. It just depends if we've been in an uptrend already. Now, if we're in a downtrend and you're looking to play calls, that's where you want to wait for the crossover. Because if you're in a downtrend, the 9's going to be below the 20, right? So that's how we're going to determine if we got a reversal here, because then we'll see the 9 cross to the upside of the 20 where it's supposed to be if you're going long. And then as soon as you see these moving averages fanning out like this, look how nicely they're fanned out. I mean, this is just a total bull run here. So be on the lookout. I would say the 20. I would say the 20. If we're already in an uptrend and you're like, okay, well, I want to try and get a piece of this run here, don't enter on these big green candles when they're far away from the 9. Wait for a pullback. It might even be better to wait for one to breach the 9 and kind of get around the 20, like in between the 9 and the 20. Maybe enter a little small starter position, nothing big, because if it does break to the downside, then at least you only have maybe one contract in there. It's not going to hurt too bad. And then,
did you say you're playing all EMAs or are you playing EMAs?
I use the EMA for the intraday, and the actual, the actual MAs, which is similar to the SMA. The SMA and MA are kind of the same. Use those for the bigger time frame charts. For longer swing trades, switch it back to the MA. But if you're in,
what time frame are you looking at?
For intraday trading, I use the 1 minute.
Okay.
Yep. So always have the EMA on the smaller time frames. And this is just my preference. It's some people have different strategies, but this is what works for me. I use the EMAs on the 1, the 3, and the 5. Once you start getting up to the hour, the 4 hour, the daily, you might want to switch it to the MA. Because if you're looking at those time frames, you're probably doing a longer swing, or maybe just getting a broader picture of the intraday trade. You want to see what is the trend on the bigger time frames to make sure you're trading with the trend if you're trying to jump into something that's already going your way. But yeah, yep, EMAs on the small time frames. The bigger time frames, I like switching to the MA.
Okay. Thank you. And you do that with your options too when you're day trading options?
Yep, I do it with options. Wow, what's going on with SPY here on this 1 minute? Just dropped to 398. It's probably a glitch.
It's a glitch though, man.
Yeah, it might be a glitch.
It's just a Weeble glitch. Don't worry about it. We're not, the world's not ending right this second. So Do you remember last week? You remember last week that we had that weird movement after hours with the SPY? I mean, it dropped. Didn't it drop like 5 points or 10 points, and then it ripped right back up?
It was actually a $15 spread from when it glitched down to glitch up. It was like a $15. Yeah, it was on Weeble. And I think this is Weeble cashing out or doing something with big orders that happen throughout the day, and then they kind of close it out at the end, and it creates that glitch there. At least that's what I've heard.
It's a good end of the day for more maybe a continuation next week.
Yeah,
we shall see, but it is very strong this move the last couple of days. But even if I draw a trend line down, let's see what we got next on the horizon.
This was Derelict, by the way. Thanks for the help on the options. I always get worried on the long weekends.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people do, and we want to be able to sleep at night and not worry when we're supposed to be having.
You're killing
family
it though, man. I mean, to hold it from 140 to $8, you said. I mean, that's some great profits there.
That's a solid play.
I mean, I'm definitely not going to go below break even, but I mean, I might as well.
The only thing you can do also, I mean, if you think there's continuation and your expiration is coming up, then you can also roll it out a bit further.
That's true.
That's also an option.
Yeah, I thought about selling off, but I don't know. Whatever. I'm out and holding one. So.
Yeah,
that's it.
There you go. Yeah, and all the profit you made from the ones that you sold, I mean, it totally covers the cost of the runner, and you get more profit, after that.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
Nice. I liquidated my account a couple months ago to start my wife's business.
Oh, okay.
So it just brought me back up to even.
Oh, damn, bro.
Man.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think I had $300 invested, so it worked out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a good gain there.
So for SPY, I think the next options for SPY, I think we can probably test up like 420-ish. I think if we get strong momentum next week, we can definitely hit 420, I think.
And when you look at options like that, you look a couple weeks out, or what do you guys?
We're mainly day trading. So
you would look for ending today and shoot for those.
I don't personally place.
Depends how risky you are too.
Yeah, that's true. And it
when I'm at work, that's why I took those options that were a couple, 3 weeks out. I think I held them for a couple days. So
okay.
I'm at work and I can't. If I miss it and it's a day one, then I'm screwed.
Yeah. Well, the good thing.
I've lost quite a bit of money doing that, not being able to watch it when I get back on there and I miss my cell. And then,
yeah.
It's over.
Yeah, I mean, if you plan on holding it for a couple of days, it's not a day trade. You're waiting for the play to pan out. If it's a couple day hold, going out 3 weeks, that's great. Definitely. Okay. Yeah, if you're gonna hold it for a couple days, make sure the expiration date isn't today or tomorrow. Make sure you got some time on it, because that theta decay is going to eat away the value.
Yeah, I've been looking at a lot of options that you guys have been alerting, and I've been trying to take them. I was getting screwed by not getting a sell on time.
Yeah.
So I started taking them like a little bit further out than what the call was if it's a day trade.
Right.
Just so I have more time in case I screw up.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you're creating your own cushion, and you're not waiting on. Yeah, no, I like it. You're kind of taking the bull by the horns there, and making yourself safer. I love it.
Yeah, I couldn't have done it without the PBU though. I mean, that was wild. Yeah,
it's a lot of great information in PBU. That's for sure. It's great to just build a solid foundation.
So man, I mean, it says here Dow jumped. Okay, so Dow jumped on today. Obviously, it was up 500 points. I think it's nearly 600. Dow was up, and it said that it ended this longest losing streak since 1932.
Wow,
we're on a big losing streak, and we finally broke that streak this week with the markets rebounding.
Right. That's good to hear.
Just because of the economic data, so it's cool. It actually points towards the cooling of inflation, and that also helped the market push higher today. It digested that very well today, that news, and we finally broke that losing streak.
Oh man, I'm so glad we did. I don't want. We do play puts during the day, and we make money on the downside, but I don't want to see the market crash. I want to get back to a bull market so we can start doing more credit spreads and selling cash secured puts and all kinds of strategies that we're not really doing right now because a lot of them are for bull markets. So just waiting for some recovery. But
what's funny, Lee?
What's that?
Talking about the market. What did you say on Monday at 396 and 398 on SPY? You said at least 410, right?
Yeah, I was a bit ambitious. I said 410. I think on that same day, on that Wednesday, but we got to like 405 that day, and then we hit 415. I mean, pretty spot on.
You said Friday at one point too, so that's really good.
Hey, Tag Man.
Lee,
I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
I'm going to go ahead and end this recording, and then we can talk after if you want.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's
cool.
do it.
All right. Well, I appreciate everyone joining me and Mr. Stocklock Profits for Friday Power Hour. We do this every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, I just ended.